Welcome back from the dead, Dr. Terman. I appreciate your coming back to meet me and discuss the nature of intelligence.
I am pleased to be here. As you know, I am the man who made intelligence testing the norm in American schools. Intelligence can be measured just like height and weight can be.
I disagree. What exactly are you measuring? Is intelligence merely how well a student can perform on a standardized test that measures one range of abilities?
That's correct. I began a longitudinal study of people with IQs over 135 that is still going on today. Back then, everyone thought that bright people were antisocial oddballs. My study showed that it was okay to be bright, and that bright people were just as well-adjusted as anyone else.
But your study only included 2 African Americans and 1 Native American out of over 1,500 people.
Yes, because those people have inferior intellects. I believe in a meritocracy of the most intelligent. Intelligence testing tells us where people will fit in society. Intelligence is immutable. It cannot be changed by environment or effort. Apart from his morals, nothing is as important about an individual as his IQ.
IQ tests are biased against African Americans and other minorities, so how can they be an accurate measure of intelligence? African American children internalize white society's biased perception of their abilities. They believe they weren't smart because they are told so. There are many kinds of intelligence, not one. Putting labels on students limits them. We need to teach these kids the codes that middle-class white kids know to succeed.
Remember that, in my day, the eugenics movement was widespread. We believed that we could and should separate the fit from the unfit, and discourage the unfit from reproducing.
Look what that led to. Hitler had the people he considered unfit murdered.
I take it that we disagree.
You approach everything from your white, male, 1920s viewpoint. If you look at other cultures besides your own, you will see that their views of intelligence are different. You have to go beyond one IQ number to look at the whole person and all their abilities. Racism stunts everyone, perpetrators and victims. A recent study said that African American children were exposed to much less vocabulary than their white counterparts before they began school. But they have a rich vocabulary. The African American kids knew a lot of words that the researchers did not. We must see our students as already knowledgeable people in their own cultures and teach that way. We must build on what do you know? Not what do I know that you don't? You don't give up on people based on what words they were or weren't exposed to as toddlers. You don't expose students to a lot of vocabulary in first grade and never again. You don't shovel pre-programmed low-level material into students and call it education. You expose children to higher-level words and ideas all through school, and you relate education to their culture, not just the culture of power.
But surely heredity determines intelligence in every culture. How can you teach advanced concepts to people with bad heredity and intelligence?
If that were so, you wouldn't really need IQ tests. You'd just have to look at the parents to see how smart a student will be. That's ridiculous. Labeling groups of people is a waste of human potential, and only a foolish society does that. Everyone should be able to grow and learn, intellectually and morally. Have we forgotten about developing character? Or do you think some people cannot do that, either?
I used to think that some people were born with a genetic predisposition to shiftlessness, though I may have been a bit extreme. We must agree to disagree. It was an interesting conversation.
Perhaps you would like to visit the school where I teach, before you leave. You can see some of my ideas in action. It might even change your mind.